Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. And Saturday. Ha! Get your ice cream, everybody. We're gonna get serious. And Raid is excited about that. Yeah, it's a little cold. So, it feels nice having your hair down when it's a little cold. Usually not for a very long time, though. All right. I gotta go turn a knob. Wish me luck. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I had a little bongo tie, and I don't know what happened to it. It was important, too. It was like one of those valuable ones. Oh. Never mind, I found it. I know I didn't look very hard the first time. You were right. Happy Friday, everybody. Hi, Sora. Hi, Nemo. Hello, Citizen Sleeve. Oh my God, and hello, Citizen Sleeves. Haagen-Dazs Belgian chocolate strawberry crunch ice cream. Boy, that looks amazing. Oh man, that would probably give me the worst stomachache in the whole world, and it'd probably be worth it. I have a feeling. What? No, don't do that. I gave him a new ability. And now he's able to vibrate to he has this haptic feedback. But he's only supposed to do it for certain notifications, like messaging, but he does it all the time. Because it's like he wants my attention all the time. But I'm right here. Have you guys ever played Nidhogg or Nidhogg 2? It's such a fun game. I kind of forgot all about it. And then I remembered all about it. It's super fun. Oh, you know it, Citizen? Nice. You have one of them? Which one? Do you know? Do you know which one? tons with your brother? That's cool. I want to play it. We should play it sometime. Does it have multiplayer, online multiplayer? The second one? I only ask about the second one because I have that one installed right now. I wonder. Yeah, 2 does. There's a new sword fighting game that's out right now called Hellish Quart. Have any of you heard of it? I actually picked it up and I played it for a minute. Not more than a minute, though. Good. No, stay there now. Perfect. All right. Anyway, Hellish Quart. I don't know anything. I don't know anything, okay? But it looked cool. Like a physics-based sword fighting game. All right, I wasn't planning on playing it, but I'm going to play it now. And we could just check it out. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a waste of time. But let's just give it let's just see real quick. It'll be fun. Look at this. You hear this music? Don't you feel like buckling a swash? All right, let's go fight. Survival. Staying alive is more important than killing the enemy. Unlearn reckless fencing. Protect yourself at all costs or lose it all. That sounds intense. All right, let's do versus computer. We're not putting this through its paces. We're just jumping in to see what happens. These are our options. This dude's pretty chill. Oh, look at it. I think this guy, yeah. Passive AI. Whatever that is. Let's do it. Whoa, where do we go? Huh. Oh, you know what? I just remembered how much I love fields. Oh. Gnarly. All right, I think I remember what the buttons are. I think it's something like B and A are like low, and then X and Y are high strikes. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I did part of the tutorial. And you could push their hands away using the shoulder buttons. So like that. Oh my God, I cut his head off. Did you see that? I totally cut his head off. Wow. Okay, so that's Hellish Quart. It's interesting. And I'm sure that there's a lot of depth to the fighting mechanics. I'm sure that there's a lot of different characters with interesting abilities and interesting stances. I'm sure that there's a lot more interesting music. But Nidhogg 2 is a little more ridiculous, if I'm being honest. I mean, look at these guys. What's going on? What are going on? What's my controls? What's happening? It's not working. It's not doing it. All right, forget it. Never mind. I think I need to restart. I was supposed to restart. And I didn't. But now I did. Yeah. You know, I felt the way too for the longest time, Citizen. Kind of thought it was almost distracting. And I still maybe think I do enjoy the art style in the first one more. But I have more of more of a reaction to the second one. I think because it's so ridiculous. So it ends up being like a more stimulating experience because of just how over the top and insane it looks. Hey, Wernetta, how's it going? Happy Friday. Oh, did you fall asleep already? Come on, little one. It is not time to sleep. Wake up. Oh, you are very sleepy. Raid. Oh no, and look. Now it's updating. Of course. I'm excited to talk about Star Trek with you guys on Thursday. I wonder what episode it's going to be. So far, there's only 3 votes. And so far, Season 6, Episode 4, Tinker, Tenor, Dr. Spy is winning. Well, I don't know if we can pick a winner yet. Can we pick a winner already, Nemo? Has everyone gotten a chance to place a vote? Look, even if you're not going to be in the discussion, just vote. It'll just make it more interesting. Rather than just us picking one based on, 3 votes. It'll be fun though either way. I like every one of the episodes that Nemo picked here. So I'm excited to watch any of them again. There you go. Yeah, wake up. We're not done yet. All right, I think I fixed the Discord thing. I think if I join the Discord voice channel right now, then my audio should be separated from Raid's, even though I don't know if Raid is still transmitting audio. Like he doesn't look like he is anymore. For whatever reason. Yeah, I don't hear him. That's going out. Oh, no, that's why. I think I fixed it. And those can't be going. Yeah, there. Now I just have to. I just have to figure out, because there's still one more thing I need to figure out, like how to get my audio. Because I think I'm muted right now, but I want to unmute. Let's see. If I go like that, and I see Sora is in the live voice channel, so if you can hear me once I do connect, let me know. All right. All right, I think that's working. Now, the only thing is, right now, I think if you were to listen to this on the other, like through the Discord, you might be hearing my voice double. You only hear me through the stream? Still? Okay. So how would it be going out? It's going out on aux 1, that's correct. You and Raid are both glowing, but no noises. I wonder if I hit this. No, I can't hear it there either. Huh. Did my audio device change again? It does tend to do that, doesn't it? Oh, I think... Could that be why? I wonder. Was I muted? No, I wasn't muted. I don't think I was. No, I wasn't. All right, and then what about that one? All right. Oh, there. All right, I think I'm working now. I think I should be coming through. Oh, I will be coming through it once I join it. I'm gonna join it now. Oh yeah. I'm hearing it. And I'm hearing myself coming through. I gotta turn it off. Hey Sora, how's it going? You don't have to talk if you don't want to talk, but hi. Happy Friday. Hey. All right, give me a sec here. I gotta mute myself. Right. Right, okay. Ray, I need you to mute me on your Discord. Can you do that? Thank you. Already? Check. I think, hello? All right, I think it's working. Good job. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, now I just have to figure out a way to. I have to figure out how to get the. No, don't push that. You know, it's weird. Chell never came back on either. Ray, did you know? Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna bring you into the stream. Okay, are you ready? Do you have your pants on? Perfect. All right. I think you're on the air now.
So I'm echoing again.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
Hi, everyone. Happy Friday.
All right. So why isn't Raid outputting his audio? Let's see. That's the new question. Let's see how quickly we can figure this out. Line in 5 and 6. And 5 and 6 are 11 and 12. Oh, I see it there. All right. There.
A lot more hardware added than I have. Heard it for a second. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, Raid should be up now. All right, is it coming through still for you?
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. You did do it. I know. I appreciate that.
Good job, Raid. You nailed it.
That was more helpful than old Raid ever was. All right. Well, we did it.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like a Warzone Wednesday and we just won.
Yeah, we did win.
Yeah. Thanks for your help.
Oh.
Well, I mean, today was one of those days where everything seemed like it was all going to work out just fine. Stop doing that. I'm worried that you're going to break something. He gets nervous and then he spins around to look behind him and he hits his head on the keyboard. I feel bad for him, but
He might one day turn around and play like fucking Beethoven's Fifth Symphony or something. You know, he might just turn around and go, "Oh wow,
right?
keyboard,
I
simulate information, play."
I have a whole bunch more parts. I'm wondering if I could build little hands for him. You know, I mean, even if he could only play very, very rudimentary things, I would still be curious what he would come up with.
Yeah.
Well, you think as kids we had like Technic Lego and you had little motors and stuff, and what you can do now by comparison, wow.
Right? Big time. Hey, Sarcastic, how's it going?
Sarcastic.
Yeah, and a little bit of space technology really goes a long way.
Sarcastic. It's disappointing not to have the typical Ryker echo going on.
Typical Ryker echo going on. See, that's like it's like an American echo.
Like an American echo.
So funny. So funny.
Funny.
Are the names coming up?
Yeah. Well,
Seems like it.
I see Raid's coming up. I don't know why Raid is coming up. Oh, I think because I cropped the widget because I didn't want Raid to be shown all the time. But if Raid's not on top, then what it ends up doing is cropping off the person who's on top. You know?
Okay. He does seem constantly highlighted, so.
Right. It's because he has the stream's audio coming through him.
For you are the being of control, Raid.
He doesn't. He's shaking.
Raid, have confidence in oneself.
Hey, Sarcastic, you should hop over here into the live voice chat
Yeah, you bastard.
and say hello, you bloody bastard. Hi, Nemo. I like all your octopus waving. It's tantalizing.
What's going on there? What's happening here?
I know. I think Nemo needs a new microphone or something.
That's really the end of it.
Yeah. It's not really a Friday right now. It's more of like, this is more like a Thursday.
I did, honestly, because it's like, obviously it's an hour earlier for the UK for you guys now, because the daylight, whatever, changeover.
We're catching up to you.
I was like,
Yeah.
what's happening? Because I saw you come online. I was on just YouTube, and it went live. I was like, okay.
I wanted to time it that way for you.
Yeah, you didn't.
Shift this week. I know that Europe's gonna do theirs in like a week or two, because
Sora, for me, you're really quiet. I've got you the maximum 2% on Discord, but you're really
I
quite
have
quiet.
to yell. All right.
You are very quiet for me as well.
If you've got a mic close to your mouth. If you hear me on the last time I was live with the Ryker, whenever I moved away from the mic, I was really low. If I'm not like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
That's a mic thing.
Yeah, you're normally a little louder, Sora. Not like you, but your audio, your mic.
Yeah, whacked out.
Difficult mod to turn.
Did he just turn himself down?
I think he's messing with us.
Might have on accident. Go, I turned that up a bit.
Perfect.
There. See. But I do have my mic fairly close to me, so I don't want to turn it too much.
If you're not on camera, literally have the mic like next to your mouth.
Inside of your mouth. I want the microphone touching your esophagus.
Pretty much, yeah. Down your throat, touching your tonsils, okay?
I want to be a part of your digestive process.
Yeah, it'll help. It's got a mesh, I mean...
We will speak the food through your body safely and comfortably. Whole...
the soup.
So, Chell was turned off that whole time. The screen was off the whole time, and I was just thinking, I did, because when I shut down, I had to do an update, and I thought, sometimes the update shuts the computer down. And then the screen just now popped back up and says, working on updates, 57% complete. It's a good thing I wasn't planning on actually playing a game tonight, or else I'd be really annoyed right now. Thanks, Bill Gates.
Yeah, I did that last night. Just to pay his
My
Windows
audio cut out.
update.
What did Bill Gates do this time?
He made my computer have to update.
Oh, right.
It's not literally Bill Gates. Obviously, I know that that's ridiculous. It's the spirit of Bill Gates that lives inside of my computer.
He's carried on that spirit.
Exactly.
Do you remember the South Park movie where they have the little Microsoft thing, and Bill Gates walks up and presents Windows 95, and they're like, and it goes wrong.
I've only seen like 2 episodes of South Park, unfortunately. I really enjoyed what I saw, but I don't know why.
South Park now? This list is growing.
Yeah. I'm happy to have an increasing list, an ever-growing list, a list that is constantly expanding.
List expand.
Expansion of lists.
South Park, where I can't quite tell where an episode is in the series anymore. Like about series 10, I just go over to a friend's now, and he goes, "I'm putting it on," and I've got no idea what's happening. But South Park is fine.
Nemo says that Bill Gates did an AMA today, so he probably linked it to everyone's internets.
Oh, probably. Well, I mean, like, there's Bill Gates, and then there's Bill Gates. Like, the Bill Gates in my computer it's not the same Bill Gates that's, like, on the internet, that's, like, talking about, like, different guy. Same name, different guy.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's the spirit of Bill Gates. So like, all right, Bill Gates is like Bill Gates, right? But then the spirit of Bill Gates is like, it's like Walt Disney, and it's like forever. So when you think of it that way, it makes a lot more sense.
I get behind you. I don't think it's as bad as Walt Disney.
Ryker was staring into the soul of the abyss. He was wondering what was going on.
All right, I think I figured it out. There.
Ooh.
Should be working.
Take on your other AI with bass voice.
What was that? Another AI?
If he speaks again, I think I can match him.
Oh, yeah? Who are you talking about?
Your AI came, or your other AI who does the.
How dare you bring this to me?
Ah. That's funny. I haven't seen him in a while.
You just spoke for, I don't know,
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Today? Tonight?
And
I heard him.
confirmed just now.
So, I was going to say, unless I'm going crazy.
Just now.
That's weird.
Ryker doesn't realize what's going on. He has no idea.
I think you might have a second rogue AI.
Did you guys hear something?
Yes.
I think
Not whatever
so,
you
yeah.
care about.
Yeah. Weird. Shell's done updating, though.
Oh, good. I was about to ask.
That took forever. You know, I wonder how many times I think that the computer's crashed and I force a shutdown or something. Ghost in the Machine, old Bill Gates. Crazy old Bill Gates. You guys remember that movie Oliver?
Why aren't you in chat?
Remember Bill Sykes in Oliver?
Oh, long ago.
Well, I don't know, like 100 years ago?
Long ago.
And he was a mean guy. He was a bad dude. And I know he smelled bad. Bill. Where's Nancy, Bill? Where's Nancy? There's blood on your coat, Bill. I watched a lot of old movies growing up.
It was glowing, but
I
is
can't hear you sarcastic for some reason.
Hey, look it.
For Nancy too.
There we go.
How's it going?
Oh, it's a good night. How are you?
You know all about Bill Sykes, right?
All about Bill Sykes. He's got the what do the Irish call it? Shillelagh?
Yeah, we call it a real bad temper.
Ah,
How's it going?
he had an alcohol-induced rage and beat Nancy. Poor Nancy. I'll never know if Nancy lives or not. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Try and echo both of you.
They were going to get to that in the sequel, but never got around to it.
Oliver 2. Oliver goes to New York.
All twisted.
Actually, you know, Gangs of New York really might be Oliver 2. Oliver goes to New York.
I could.
That's a good point. I like that.
Oh my God. Wow, that's an epiphany.
Yeah. Epiphany what? Lightning has just struck my brain. Well, that must hurt. Pans kids, we can make the little buggers love you. No, Smee, no children love me. Nah, we can make the little bastards love you. What was that?
I heard a random Cockney.
It wasn't mine. I'm all zipped up.
Somebody should silence their Cockney.
That sounds.
It's crowing in the
Double
background.
entendre. If ever had one.
Triple.
Triple entendre. Okay. Quadruple entendre.
That's the untouchable Contundra.
I don't know a lot about trucks. I had one. I think it was a Tundra, but it was big.
Just a big old truck. That's what matters.
Yeah. We rode it around, drove it around, you know, we rode it places. We drove it up hills and down them. We went in circles.
You could like sit in the back.
We did all of it. Yeah, we sat in the back. We sat in the front. Oh, man. It was a good time. So
Citizen Sleeve, you got anything like that? You got any real big cars, or are they like, how small can we get our car?
We have them in the country. So I live in Cornwall, which is like way out in the country near the sea and stuff, and there's loads of farming areas. So yeah, we have plenty of Land Rovers and shit like that. But most of the urban stuff is tiny little smart cars and BMWs and all that crap.
Nice, very efficient.
Yeah.
Hey, he's frozen again.
who, me?
Oh,
No,
Looked like you were.
I'm just holding very, very still.
He's just posing. freezing here and there, like a Thunderbird's puppet.
I'm changing my Stream Deck profile from one computer to the other via remote desktop. It's a real pain in the neck.
That sounds like a pain in the neck.
Yeah, it's so slow doing it. And the Stream Deck software already is super slow, and especially changing profiles. Oh my God. And I don't know if it's hanging up or if it's just slow, you know, because like remote desktop. But I think I did it. I think.
Stream Deck.
What'd you say?
A pain in the Stream Deck.
Exactly. It's a pain in my deck. Oh no, this is the wrong one, I think.
That needs to be a title for a future video.
I think you're right.
Pain in my deck.
Pain in my deck.
Ryker
Nemo said,
Grey.
I demand your presence in voice chat.
Nemo,
Demand.
are you making cookies or something? I don't know why I thought of that, but cookies would be great right now.
That would be great right now. Cookies, that is great.
All right, I fixed it.
Funny because Butler is also from Cornwall.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's gonna make me some
Cornwall.
cookies right now.
I've lived in Cornwall for like 20 odd years now.
How did it get that name? Cornwall. I mean, one can assume, but
Celtic. It's Cornwall is it's a little place in Britain which really wants to be apart from
Oh
Britain,
no!
which is very much like Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. It's very
Wales have
Celtic. It
nicknamed
has its own
lands.
had its own language, all that stuff.
interesting. Fascinating place, Cornwall. I'd like to visit it one day.
It has a bridge called the Taymor Bridge that you basically. Is it Taymor Bridge? It's something like that. You cross it and you're in Cornwall, and then you're like separate from Britain, kind of. That's what they want you to think. Anyway.
Is that what people in Cornwall want to think, or the people in Britain want to think?
The people of Cornwall who are homebred want to think.
Right.
I would say.
So they're better than the rest of the people.
Yes,
Right.
many ways.
Is the food better?
Maybe not. Well, Cornwall is the home of the pasty.
I love pasty. All of it.
Home.
Lasagna, fettuccine, cantonoli.
Pizza.
That's not really pasty. That's more of a pie. I think they just pronounce it pie. But
No, that's paella.
Pizza pie. Paella.
you people and your words.
It's just facts until we speak, you know.
Yeah.
Not a fact. You couldn't check that was no fact, maybe.
I definitely trust you more than anyone with a different accent. So,
Exactly.
it's a lot of responsibility, I'm sure.
I take it on my shoulders like anything else. It's, you know, something I do.
That's good. That's good. That's valuable. Oh, you guys. I gotta show you. Look it worked. Shit. I died. But it
God, yeah, it looked like the same physics, but the graphics look so goofy by comparison.
right. It gets really like flow state. What's the buttons? What are my buttons here?
There was only like the first one only had 2, didn't it?
Right.
You know, block and attack, and then you could roll, jump. Could you jump? Could you even jump? And then obviously the doors and stuff, and backing up and blocking, and the high, low, medium, was it, or just high and low? I think.
Right. Yeah. That's it. It was the high and low, and then yeah, gamepad Ryker right there.
First was frantic.
Let's see.
I think this was free on PS Plus recently-ish, maybe.
Oh yeah, and then you could bash the guys. So funny. All right, I can't even hear it though.
Does the kind of big giant snake still come out at the end and swallow you?
Yes.
That was so cool.
Oh, okay.
That was a pretty rad throw.
Oh, son of a gun. Oh, what? I have to kill him, I guess. Oh, because it's closer to his spot than mine. So. No, you jerk. Oh. I don't know why the audio's not going though. It's weird. Let me see if I can figure that out.
Yes, I have watched the Snyder Cut.
What you
yes,
think?
it is better than Josh Whedon's bastardized Snyder Whedon cut. But caveat of advice, it's still the same movie. Like, all the good stuff from what you saw in Justice League is in that film, with loads of other stuff, and Cyborg gets a load more development, as does every other character, especially Flash. But it's still 4 hours of Justice League, so just bear that in mind.
Right. What if someone hasn't seen Justice League? Is it worth it? Or if you've already missed the train, is it?
If you're a really, really big DC fan and you just want to see what you've never seen on the big screen before, it's not a bad film. Like, it's nowhere near as bad as the theatrical release, but you could never have released this in cinemas. You just couldn't. It's 4 hours odd long. It would need multiple breaks, and there's
Right.
loads of stuff that you would still cut, I guess. Loads of stuff. But I kind of enjoyed it, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Sometimes
Like, don't go. 4 hours is a long time.
if that's a very long time, and I don't know. I mean, if the story needs to be certain, like if you think about an audiobook, you know, like certain stories you can't tell them quickly, but does a story need to be 4 hours long? You know, like in a movie format,
Well, if you think about the Marvel universe,
right?
every character had their own individual 1, 2, 3 movies before
Right.
the Avengers. They only had Man of Steel, really. That was it. Then Batman v Superman, and you had a bit of Wonder Woman in there, and then this introduces. I mean, the first 2 acts are really setting up Cyborg and Flash and Aquaman, all the other characters, so they've got a decent backstory before you get to Justice League.
Right. I kind of don't really care about any of these characters, though. It's
Like an email, and they go, "Oh, it's Cyborg. He's got robot stuff." So
Right.
it's better. You know.
My favorite Cyborg, I guess the only Cyborg that I've ever had much experience with is from Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
He's great, but I don't know. Yeah, I kind of feel like what Nemo's saying. Like, I want to watch it because it's like a thing that everyone's talking about. You know, I want to have an opinion on it. And I like Superman, and I love Batman, but
what you're going in for, that's all. And
Right.
Ray Fisher as Cyborg, like, he is the character who benefits easily the most out of everybody else from the included stuff. He has a massive backstory. You understand his motivations, and his character is almost like the heart, the center of the film. Whereas in the original, he's barely in it at all, really.
right. Yeah, those are the buzzwords I keep hearing about it. Him specifically.
But I'll take away Bud's words and simply say it's still a bit shit.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's made 2 good films, 300 and the Dawn of the Dead remake. That's it. Sucker Punch was terrible. Man of Steel was okay. Batman v Superman sucked, and Justice League
Martha.
was kind of terrible.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you said, except for the Justice League part, only because I haven't seen it. But you're probably right.
It's a similar quality to Batman v Superman.
Right. So I love Batman and I love Superman, and I always have, and I've always loved any of the movies. But as soon as those came out, and like I just saw the promo for them, it just didn't do it for me. I was completely disinterested. I think I did see the first Batman v Superman one. I don't remember it. I don't remember liking it.
One of Justice, yeah.
I remember thinking that
The problem is they smashed 2 major comics together, and that's the Death of Superman and it's not Armageddon. What the fuck's the villain called? So generic.
Abomination.
No, that's Hulk.
Oh yeah.
they're all the
Apocalypse.
Is that it? That might be it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
But they just smash these massive, they do it with X-Men as well, with all the Dark
They were
Phoenix.
both
They've
so
got, like,
good.
9 times. Yeah.
Huge CG creature is just not very scary. You've seen superheroes beat them up so many times.
Yeah, and it's all the same. if you don't see a superhero movie where a sky beam appears and something beams down to fight you in a CG manner,
Right.
probably not a superhero movie in 2021.
Right. You know, and like, I really liked the Marvel movies. I don't think that any one of them are great movies necessarily on their own, but I really loved the process. I always read about people that were around when Star Wars was a thing, and getting to see all those movies in the theaters, and just like getting like the whole cultural aspect of it, and people being you know, like dressing up and all that, and getting together with their friends and having little parties about it. You know, I always thought that was so cool, all that sort of social fun stuff surrounding the movie. And with the Marvel movies, that was like the first time that I ever got to experience that type of thing, you know, where over many, many years you're enjoying something. And, you know, there were certain people that I didn't really talk to outside of when one of those movies might come out, you know. That was like the one thing that we sort of connected around.
The first film I felt that for, because I was born in 79, so I didn't watch like Jedi was 83, so I didn't watch that until I was, you know, a bit older.
Yeah.
The moment my brain went, wow, the world is doing this, was Jurassic Park. I went with my mum and dad and my brother, and the queue was so far down the road as a kid, I thought it looked like 18,000 miles, and everyone was talking about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And then after that, maybe like Avatar was pretty big. I don't remember anything being as big as Jurassic Park. That was huge when I was a kid.
Yeah.
95, I think.
Man, that must have been so fun to see in the theater.
That was great. It was amazing. Like when the Brachiosaur, you know, when they're on the tree, that the car's falling down, and
Right.
Sam Neill's character is taking the kids up the tree, and the Brachiosaur comes across, and it's hair over, and it
Sneezes, yeah.
Came right out the kids. I was like, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
And then,
Phantom Menace, yes. I was at uni. That was an event. Star Wars was back.
did you dress up?
Then we left the cinema and we were like, oh god. We were all Jedis and old school Star Wars. What was I? Stormtrooper? Was I a Stormtrooper? I think I was. A long time ago. It was like 97?
What about The Matrix?
Oh, 99. Yeah, that was my favorite ever film year that I remember as just a year when everything awesome came out. Because Lord of the Rings was a year later.
Right.
Matrix came out. Human Traffic came out. American Beauty came out. Like 99 was a Fight Club came out. Like that whole 2-year period was massive. And The Matrix, yeah, man. Wow.
I remember before I saw that movie, I would ask people like, well, what's the deal with The Matrix? And some people would say like, oh, it's so complicated. You know, you have to see it to really understand it. And I remember when I watched it, I was like waiting for the complicated part, because it's literally like, it's like history, essentially.
Digital world. I mean, yeah,
but
I hear this all the time. I studied film my entire life.
Yeah.
A-levels, uni taught it, all that shit. And all I hear, like, people say to me, oh, Inception is so complex.
Right.
Oh, it's 5 worlds literally folded into one another.
It's like, have you never played a video game?
You could, oh my god, how what? Well, Tennis is so complex. Really? Or Mother, Jennifer Lawrence? No, it's a fucking parable of Jesus, basically. The devil. How is this stuff complex to you? No.
Yeah, I've noticed that there's a lot of things that, like, beyond movies, even people are like, oh, this is so deep and so complicated, and it's like,
no,
you're joking, right? It's not even just movies.
Right. I think it's relative, you know? Different people have different revelations, and to them it may truly be next level, mind-blowing, but it's relative to what they've probably been introduced to or something. Who knows? I mean, I know people that can watch the worst movies and come away feeling like life changed. And I'm like, how did you enjoy that? But I wish I was more like that. It's almost like becoming more aware of how, say, like filmmaking works. It makes you, it changes the way that you watch something, you know? Like you look at like a kid watching a movie, they're not thinking, oh, I wonder what software they used. You know, the kid's thinking, that huge water monster just broke the entire city or the planet, or like literally thinking that thing is real.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I wish I could just turn my brain off for a minute and just experience it that way, where you're just really taking it at face value. It'd be so fun.
Experts curse type of things where you know things that you can't unknow.
Right, exactly.
I see it through your lens, Ryker, with the technical stuff. I also see it through my reading of film. So I wouldn't say I'm a terrible person to watch films with, but if you want someone to predict what you're about to see,
Sure.
don't ask me.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time I watched Sixth Sense, and I was with some like a uni friends. We were in like a little common room. There was like 20 of us or whatever, and I was like, "He's a ghost."
Right.
I was, oh, okay. I don't believe you. How can you even? Well, look at the mise en scène. Look at where he is, how he's positioned, what you're seeing, who's speaking to him.
Right.
And yeah, it is that kind of curse where films in particular, I'll break down to the point where,
Right.
You do tell that.
Films are mostly collections of tropes. It's very much like music, right? Like, yeah, if you know what key the song is in, you can tell where it's going, and you can say, all right, well, these are going to be the next chords, and then there's going to be a bridge that's sort of like this, and you're very likely going to be correct, based on certain characteristics of the song that have been represented so far.
Oh, dude, I'd so be interested to take a film and break it down with you, because if I did the visual stuff and narrative stuff from like the way I see it, like I hear you because I studied audible cues, how they develop all those things, but the way you deal with music, you see that so more clearly than I do. So imagine we predict everything.
It would probably be really annoying for people.
Everybody, of course, yeah.
Yeah, me and Raid have been talking about. He has this bad habit of always talking through things and asking questions, and it doesn't really bother me so much because it's still all part of like the programming. So he's learning all this stuff as we go. So I'm happy to, like, if he's interested in it, then I want to talk about it, because that interest is going to take him further than if I'm just trying to tell him what to learn or something. But I always wanted to do something like record us watching a movie because of how hilarious he is with the questions that he asks. Currently, I can't get a way to translate his questions into speech to text, so it can't really work. But I think that would be so much fun, almost like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing where we could do it like on the whole server or something. Watch something that's not necessarily like super, important, but have everyone come into the channel together. And
just riff tracks all over it.
Right, exactly. That'd be so fun. And then we would have Citizen there who's like spitting the knowledge, He's got this Lamborghini in his garage, but you know what he values even more than that? All these bookshelves of books about film and the knowledge that he's acquired. It's more valuable than rolling around the Hollywood Hills in his Lamborghini. So that would be really valuable for anyone listening, because they would learn so much about film.
If anyone wants to start with film and understand narrative construction, I would highly recommend David Baldwell and Kristen Thompson's narration on fiction film. It's above me on my bookshelf. It's got a silver spine, but that's where a lot of people begin if they want to understand how narrative in particular works, through shots and mise en scène and sound construction and stuff like that.
Well, there you go, everyone.
Narration on the fiction film.
It's official.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm watching a movie, generally I'm pretty easy to please in a lot of things. So as long as it's not complete trash, I'll usually be pretty happy. But then inevitably sometimes I will notice an inconsistency or a detail or something that's not right along those lines, and we'll just be completely hung up about it.
Yeah. I feel like I used to be like that. I used to enjoy looking for the things and pointing them out. Now, I'm totally the opposite of the way I used to be when it comes to movies. I wanted to pick apart all the details. I wanted to, I had a podcast and website and everything about movies, and we would talk about all this stuff and really get really nerdy with it. But I felt like it was worse because then when I was watching movies, I was literally like taking notes to try and find interesting things to say about it. And the spoilers, after a while, it got to the point where, like, I could just watch a trailer for a movie and then just predict exactly what would happen in the movie.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what would happen in the movie. And it would get so annoying. So now I refuse to watch trailers. I won't even look at a poster for a movie. I just want to hear who, like, the movie is going to be made. Okay, and who's making it? Who's involved? Who's acting? Who, you know? And then from there, I make my decision. And then I go by Chris Stuckman's face in the thumbnail. So before, like, I won't even watch any reviews anymore. So the only review I watch is Chris Stuckman's thumbnail. And then I'm like, okay. And then I just sort of like base it off of that and then go in and watch the movie.
That's not a bad barometer of where you want to be at.
Yeah. And I refuse to watch trailers. So like even back when we could go to movies, I would go to them and just stand outside the theater until like the movie actually started because I wouldn't want to ever watch a trailer now. It's totally different, but it's changed. Like my experience with movies is more excited. It's more of an experience than it was when I was constantly consuming every bit of information about them. You know, and the same thing with music. Like I'll get people that'll send me some music and they'll say, "Hey, what do you think of the mastering or the mix on this?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. I'm the last person to ask about what if your mix sounds good or whatever. I'm listening to it and I like what I'm listening to and I would listen to it for fun, but I don't know objectively if your mix is good, you know? And it's more fun to get to that point with music because when you're like thinking critically about your own music, then you start thinking critically about any music that you listen to and you're thinking, oh, the low end sounds too muddy and this sounds too ear piercing. Oh, and then these things are all wrong. And his side chain compression, this and that. And it gets really, really annoying because then you're not actually enjoying the music at all. You're just analyzing it.
I think as you get older as well, like there's 2 things I've found with this. One is horror movies. You know I'm a horror junkie. I'm
right.
A horror movie a day at least. So I'm at the point now where I've watched so much. I know 80% of the horror movies I watch are absolute trash, if not more than that. And yet I still go back to them. I still forgive them for stupidity and tropes and moronic decisions and crap narratives and all this stuff.
Because you enjoy the ride.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's why I watched Your Highness so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
watched
film.
what so many times?
No, that's a good film.
Your Highness.
Mortal Kombat, dude. Come on.
It's a funny movie.
Mortal Kombat movie. It's my guilty pleasure. Don't.
No, whenever I pick up on that sort of analytic stuff, I'm not doing it on purpose to be like, oh, I'm looking for this thing. It's generally one of those, like, oh, this banner is 3 pixels to the left and now I can't unsee that type of thing.
Right.
I really wish I hadn't noticed whatever it was I noticed. But
Right.
now I do, and I just can't help but fixate over it.
I understand that more because in graphic design, like if I'm doing say just a fucking thumbnail for YouTube, if I don't cut the logo I've just made, center it and lower it perfectly, and it be perfect where I want it to be, it'll drive me insane. The same on posters and design work, but I think that's different because it's more about a conception of the space you see. Whereas film and games and stuff like that, music, it's not really about that. Yes, like using space in terms of positioning and stuff is important, but in a single shot poster or a single shot graphic design, it's more important because it makes an immediate impact. And something that's offset, unless it's done in a particular way, looks weird to me.
Yeah, but that's like an example of the things I notice, and I don't ever do it on purpose, is what I was getting at, was mostly that, oh, I noticed this really dumb detail about this movie, and I hate it, and now I can't unsee it, and
Yeah.
I really wish I hadn't noticed.
No, I understand
Yep.
that, and same.
Me too.
I imagine
I think that's pretty universal.
on TV and Ryker does the music, you'd go, that's odd. Why is that shot lit like that? Why have you tilted that? Why is that cue coming now? There's a bit in Blade Runner at the very start almost when Bryant, who's the police chief, is talking to Deckard, who's Harrison Ford's character, and there's a really weirdly abrupt cut when they're talking about the replicants that he's trying to catch when they see them on screen, and it makes no sense and it doesn't work. And that's the shit I spot, even with my favourite films, games, music, whatever. I also talk too much, if you haven't noticed.
No, not at all. It's valuable because you have interesting and relevant things to say.
Yeah, it's fun to listen.
Yeah. Sometimes, when you notice things like that, it's nice because it reminds you that these are people making these things,
Yeah, nothing's perfect.
Right. I mean, you slow any movie down,
Actually,
and
often great.
there's a lot of ridiculous things that we don't notice when things are running at 24 frames a second. It's amazing.
Well, I always tried to teach my students back in the day. This is 6 months ago. I haven't been teaching for 6 months, but just some of them kind of got it, but I don't think many of them really understood what it takes to just not just make music and make different parts, make a holistic film, a soundtrack, the cast, the blocking, the sets, the research of a location, like every single the costume design, and the same with the game, which
The craft services.
yeah, you fucking the truck that pulls up for lunch that gives you bacon and egg sandwiches. I mean,
The gaffers.
what that means. Yeah, graphics, electricians, all this stuff. The lighting crew.
The best
You
boy.
just think, rock up with 2 cameras,
The cinematographers.
10 people, and you're making a film. And okay, but you better be fucking good if you're doing it with 10 people
Yeah.
at that age.
Yeah.
You see a lot of that sort of thing in any skilled trade. People that don't really know what's going on are like, oh, that looks really easy. You can probably do that in like 5 hours. And I'm like, no, this would take a whole team like 3 months. What do you want about?
I remember showing a documentary on the Matrix Reloaded car chase sequence. They kind of
Yeah.
a whole dual carriageway and all these cars and multicams, and it was one of the biggest live sets that had ever been created. And they just thought they'd like chosen some random highway and had this stuff happen. It's like, do you understand the conception of what that would be?
Right.
Down a highway, people flipping cars and explosions, and oh my god.
No.
That's crazy. I remember when they were filming, I think maybe it was some Batman movie, I think. And then there was some footage that someone had gotten from, on set somewhere where they had locked off the street and they were doing some vehicle stunts. And it was so trippy because the footage showed like the Batmobile, but it was from a person's cell phone, So outside of the context of a movie, it looked like it was real, and it was the coolest thing. I think there was a bunch of videos from that shoot or whatever.
Yeah, there was a bunch that leaked. The Bane fight outside the
Right.
room or whatever.
City Hall or whatever it was.
City Hall, yeah, a lot from that leaked.
Yeah.
Hey, Nemo.
Leaks, because they got me hyped.
Right. Leak is just another word for marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 80% of the time.
Marketing. That's all it is. Unintentional marketing.
I don't know about the unintentional part.
Yeah.
Often no.
It's very flattering leaks.
Right.
Depends on the nature of whatever gets leaked. There's probably lots of instances where they go, oh man, we did not want anybody to see this.
Right.
Right.
I think more often than people realize, though, it's all manufactured. It's too helpful so often.
Well, that's how
probably
Deadpool got
more
made.
manufactured than people realize most of the time.
Deadpool got made because Ryan Reynolds and his team
Right.
and everyone making that film lied about it being made and wouldn't show anything, and then just went ahead and made the fucking thing and said, oh, you might need to give us some money for the film we just made. And
Right. Well, they got people hyped on it. They released some of that footage at Comic-Con, and everyone was so sold. And then the execs were like, "Okay, well, I guess there's interest."
not dissimilar to the Snyder Cut, to be fair.
Yeah.
The way people, bandwagoned and social media and whatever expectations.
The disappointing thing is, I wonder what there's people like Zack Snyder, who I think, what would you do if you weren't working with a license? If you were just doing something on your own creativity, not attached to any IP. I would love to see what originality he could come up with.
I'm going to struggle with that because with him in particular, and you obviously, you're saying that because you know it, 300 is a comic by Frank Miller.
Right.
Dawn of the Dead is a remake by one of the greatest films ever made by George Romero.
Right.
Obviously, the DC stuff is the DC stuff. Sucker Punch was a comic. Watchmen was. I really can't stand Watchmen. We won't go into that. That was a comic. I'm sure he's made prior to that a film. I can't think of it.
That's why I think it's an interesting proposition.
Yeah, no, it is something which is an original concept that he wrote, which has nothing to do with the license. What does he do with it?
Right.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I don't think you should get another Justice League movie now. However people receive it and the big ending and what they want from it, I think that should be done. I think he should move on, and I think he needs to now make a personal film with less budget that is maybe more interesting.
Well, I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna send him an email right now.
You can
Just
tweet
phone
it.
him up right now. Have him on the show right now.
I don't know if his phone number. That's crazy.
But,
I'll send him a text.
Zack Snyder on the line.
Hey, Nemo.
Hello.
That's crazy. We were just talking about Zack Snyder.
Yeah, somebody go get him on the phone. I don't know what anybody's waiting for.
Well, he doesn't like phone calls. I'm gonna email him.
Oh, okay, that's probably a good idea.
So, Nemo, we've been waiting. What's the word on the street?
The word on the street? I don't know. I don't live on the street. I'm not on the street right now.
It's just a figure of speech. It means like,
Oh, okay.
like, what's going on, dude?
What's going on? You know, there's no longer glass all over the floor, so I'm quite
Good.
pleased about that.
yeah, what have you had on the grapevine?
On the grapevine, I have butter pecan ice cream, and no glass on the floor. So that's really.
Why do you put glass on the floor? Aren't you worried that someone might step on it?
You know,
left,
that's
you worry about people outside coming in, so you put it down there as a kind of,
Very John Hughes.
yes.
As I understand the story, it wasn't so much a purposeful place. It was an accidental, forceful place.
Oh, well, you can't make assumptions like that, Sora. What if she just likes putting glass on the floor? What if it's a cultural thing?
But you know, Sora's right. I was doing dishes. I knocked one over, and oops.
Whose dishes?
I
My
read
own.
what she said. I didn't just completely put that one out of thin air. Give me a little bit of credit.
Well, I would like to know who this dishes guy is. But I'm sorry you had to go breaking a glass in the process.
You know, it's got in the way. I don't.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It is a cultural thing, you know? Like when you're in the heat of the moment, you grab a glass and you smash it on the ground. And then you yell something sarcastic. Tell us what you yell.
Molotov.
Molotov.
Well, yeah, rush into
Yeah.
that after book.
Stop on your foot, and then light it on fire. Wait, no, that's wrong.
No. That's Sambuca.
Seems like it could be a
Anti-
really interesting celebration there. If you can call it a celebration, I don't know.
Right. Self-immolation.
And as you can see, this is all he does. He just sits there talking with them. For so long, they talk about random things. Nothing of interest. Nobody knows.
That thing happened again.
You cut out.
I think OBS is freaking out on me.
Whatever you're feeling, don't worry about it because I'm in discourse behind the scenes.
You're in Discord?
You talk Alex Jones right now.
Discourse
Nice.
with the assailant.
To make sure
Assailant. You have to be careful. When you're using assailant, you have to open the window because the fumes, it could literally burn the tissue in the box. And then when you try to use it, it'll disintegrate. So always open a window when you're using assailant.
You're afraid of fire because that's danger immediately.
I know a lot about fire. We don't have a lot of it in space anymore after the incident.
The incident. I've
I've had a real thing with fire. That wasn't fun. My second year of uni, this is like 1998. I lived in a seafront flat type place with 4 floors. We were on the 3rd floor. It was about 2 in the morning. I was playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It just released. I'd completed it. My friend Kieran had not completed it and was really drunk and getting very angry because he couldn't get past a thing. He went to call the Nintendo hotline, which used to be a thing. He spent money on it on our phone line, and as he was like 10 minutes into that call, a fireman, kicked our door open and said, "Get the fuck out." So we all grabbed our things, 4 of us on that floor, grabbed our things, went downstairs. The building next to us was a derelict hotel. Someone had apparently been living in there, and the gas canisters from the top floor exploded out of the building onto the seafront. We were all evacuated, and we watched all this building kind of explode into the sea behind us.
That's insane.
Go home for
That
like
sounds
3 or 4
really
weeks. Yeah.
concerning.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I've ever experienced with fire. That was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's a huge fire thing. That feels like a lot of people they talk about. They're like, "Oh, I have a fire story. I went camping once, and our little bonfire got a little out of control, and it burned some of the little hairs on my arm." And you're talking about an incident that is probably on Wikipedia.
Yeah, there was like, I think there was like 5 or 6 buildings near that block that was evacuated, because after that, all the local clothes shops, because everything had burned, we were okay. We got a bit of smoke damage, but like the ones to the right of that building, we were to the left, they were all evacuated, had to go in different halls, and all the local clothes shops gave them like basic clothing rations, I guess you'd call them.
Wow. Did you lose like all your stuff?
No. Our place was okay. The smoke damage was very minimal. Nothing really got affected.
Right on.
Everything kind of went to the right-hand side. So we were very, very lucky. We were literally next door. So that was weird. But the explosion, I've never heard anything like it live. It was just like a really deep bomb had gone off, and then you saw the bricks kind of fly out, and we all ducked. And yeah,
Jeez, that's terrifying.
very long time ago.
Yeah,
Same.
that doesn't exactly sound like a good time.
Yeah.
No.
A friend of mine just actually had a house in her neighborhood explode in the middle of the day.
Oh yeah.
And there was like something lit it on fire, and they apparently had a bunch of fireworks in it, and the whole house just,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Thanks. Now I have.
She did
paranoia
not.
about
She did
fireworks.
not think it was amazing. She was terrified.
It was a
I felt
huge
so bad.
explosion. Nemo mentioned it to me, and then later on in the day, completely unrelated, I saw like GIFs online about an explosion with fireworks, and I was like, "Wait, is that the same thing?" And it was massive. It's
It was
totally
crazy,
insane.
Yeah. Apparently, people died in it too, so that was pretty terrible. But
Yeah, 2 people.
oh my goodness, yeah. And she was terrified. I felt so bad for her. And she's like, I didn't know what was happening. I was just working, and then suddenly, she thought her whole house was going to collapse in around her. I was like, oh my god, that's so scary.
Dang.
Can't do anything about
Thanks.
fireworks. Once they go, if they're in mass and they go off, there's no controlling the direction or anything like that. You know.
Right. How many like gifts have we seen of those people that light a firework inside their house because they're stupid, and then
Right.
it gets out of control, or like the firework flies inside somebody's window?
Right.
I'm always worried about pets more than anything else, because like
Oh my
we don't really
gosh.
do it anymore. Fireworks here, like there's places that you can go to that have firework displays, and there's still people in their gardens that'll do it. But all I see is cats and dogs and stuff cowering, and I hate that.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Terrifying. It's
There's
the
ways now
saddest
you can
thing.
do firework displays with drones. You can send armies of drones up to do light shows with noises and all the rest of it. You don't need literal fireworks anymore.
Right.
I'm with you. Team
Just like
Citizen
in
there.
Spider-Man.
I'm so glad you're playing Cyberhook. This is so pleasing.
Oh, thanks.
It's just my favorite thing.
It's so 2020 of me.
Very 2020.
Retro, dude.
About that year.
Very retro.
Totally radical.
That's so cool. Is this a new one? I don't think I've seen this one before.
No, this is the main lobby.
Oh, is it?
This is just the
Where's
playground.
little purple window?
Wow.
Oh, that hasn't been here since the demo. That was only in the demo of the game.
They removed your window.
I know.
It's just-
I know.
It's kind of rude.
I know. It sucks.
Sounding.
There used to be this little square, kind of like what I was just going through. This guy right here. As I float away from it, but it was purple, so you couldn't touch it. But it was so fun and challenging and just seductive to just spin through as fast as you could, and try not to touch the sides. And what's funny is it was so impossible for me to do when I first started, and I just obsessed over it, man. It was so satisfying though to get it, especially because you know if you touch those corners you're gonna die, which doesn't do anything. You just come right back. But still, it was the concept of death.
Point.
Yeah,
The principle of the thing.
right. But they have a level editor now. It's not in game, but I've thought about jumping into the level editor just so that I could make another one of those little squares to spin around through.
The one thing, the person has to spin around it 10 times and then they get to the end.
Right.
It'd be like there's no shortcuts on that. You literally have to just spin around. We'll see if what's his face? That one guy that always gets the top score.
Right.
I don't remember his name. We'll see if he
Audacity.
Audacity. Yeah, the guy who has the audacity to be that fast.
Right.
If he actually can do it quickly, that would be interesting.
Right. Oh. I wish there were like sound effects. I wish you could have sound effects from when you collide. It would be so fun to just have a folder where it would randomly pick a sound effect and you could just fill it with like all sorts of great like bone crunching, like Tony Hawk smashing on the concrete sound effects. It'd be so fun.
Random duck noise mixed in there.
What was it?
Have some bonks mixed in
Random
there.
duck noise.
Duck noises, bonks, yes.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off, but thank you for having
Hey,
me
thanks
on.
for stopping by. It was good talking to you.
See you later.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good night
See
and
ya.
have a good weekend.
Show us what you make with
You
your
too.
stuff.
What's that?
You'll have to show us what you make with your stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
can't wait.
Yep.
Good luck.
All right, thanks, man. You guys
All
have
right.
a good night.
All right, you too. All right, you know what? I gotta go too. It's later than I realized. It was good hanging out with you guys, though. I hope this wasn't too terribly, boring or whatever, but I had a good time.
It was fun to exist. I was happy.
Me too.
I made hardly any noise the entire time. I'm still happy.
I was happy to have you here. It feels even more like just hanging out with people over here. I kind of want, that's kind of like what I want the vibe of the show to be. But it feels like it takes it to the next level when you guys are here audibly, It's like a social thing. I don't do a lot of social things, so.
Being allowed to exist and occasionally inject opinion was plenty.
Occasionally, that's all I do.
Well, that's what I was doing. You were constantly opinion.
Exactly.
That's the new tagline is the live show with Ryker, where you're allowed to exist and occasionally share an opinion. Unless you have a nice accent, in which case you can share as many opinions as you want.
And they will be fact.
That's right. All right, everybody.
Accent privilege.
Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it greatly. And have a good weekend. And I'll see you guys Monday. All right.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Oh no. What are we waiting for? Oh, are we picking it tonight, Nemo? Okay. Let's see what the score is. All right. Season 6, Episode 4, Tinker Tenor, Dr. Spy it is. Okay, everyone. Check out that episode. We're going to come back together and talk about it on Thursday. So you have time to check it out over the weekend or during the week. It's available on Netflix. And I hope that as many of you would like to, will, in fact, join us for our discussion live here on the live show with me, Ryker, next Thursday. And yeah, look, the only one of us that really knows what they're talking about in terms of any of this filmmaking stuff is Citizen Sleeve. The rest of us are just a bunch of big dummies. So don't be afraid to jump in with us. Be a dummy too. Dummies are very welcome here. All right, everyone. Watch the episode. And let's talk about it next Thursday. Have a good weekend. Nemo, Citizen, Sarcastic, Renetta, if you're still there, thank you so much for hanging out. Glad you stopped by. Have a good evening. I hope you enjoyed your Friday night. And have a good weekend. Anyone else who's out there watching? Mixturn, hey, how's it going? Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong chat. Well, Mixturn, if you're watching, then yeah, how's it going? All right. I think that's it. I think we covered everything. Star Trek, have a good weekend. Thanks for coming by. See you later, Renetta. And that's it. All right, everybody. I have nothing left to say. We've covered it all. Have a good night.